Hey, what's up everybody? It's Joe Simpson here. I'm doing my video today in the back seat of my new truck. I wanted to show you around this new vehicle that I picked up. Not to be braggadocious about it or anything like that, but maybe give you some info and some insight as to why I picked this truck, and it could possibly be a good truck for you to go with as well. I'm a contractor and I use my truck every single day. I live in that thing. It's like my house. So I've had my truck, it's a Ford F150 2005 for 14 years. I've had it for 12 of those 14 years. I bought it with 30,000 miles and I just sold it to one of my workers for a really good price with 268,000 miles. Now it has a second engine. I bought a new crate motor about 3-4 years ago because the engine went out in it at about 250. I've done a lot of work. Like, it's on its third transmission. I pull trailers and stuff, so I get my transmissions rebuilt. So I've maintained it very well. I put it in good hands. It's going to be used on my job, so I feel like it's still kind of part of the family. But I needed a new truck, and I really didn't know which ones to buy. So I went out shopping, started with pretty much a broad umbrella of trucks to choose from, and landed back with the F-150. Because I think I kind of know the truck and it feels right to me, so I just kind of go with it. I'm not like a diehard Ford guy, a diehard Chevy or whatever, anti-Chevy, anti-Dodge. I just like Fords. So I ended up with the Ford F-150. It was a 2018. I don't really like to buy things new because you just lose money as soon as you drive them off the lot. And you get the same tax break on a used truck as you do a new truck. So I just bought a new used truck, a newer used truck, 2018. Now, it was a rental car, so it has high miles for the age of the car, but it's not really high miles in general. It's 23,000 miles. So it's virtually new to me compared to my other truck, which felt like I was driving around literally like a tube sock. I mean, it was just so comfortable and so, familiar. I just felt like I was, in this little cocoon. But this is a new treat to me. I'm really enjoying the car, and I wanted to take 15 minutes, walk you through this vehicle, tell you about some of the things I like and don't like, and then show you some fish catches a little bit later. I've had a few catches here and there, nothing really awesome, but it's in the heat of July. Frog fishing has slowed down a little bit for me. I think the fish have run out a little deeper, and me and Pat are trying to adjust our fishing styles to deeper fishing, and it's not going great, at least for me. I just don't want to do it, but he's been trying the jig and the worms and all that stuff, but he's had some success. But I don't know, it's hard to not throw topwater early morning and late evening. It's just hard not to do that. But anyway, without further ado, let's do the Ford F-150 walk around. So I'm sitting in the back seat, and that's probably one of the most impressive things about this truck so far is how huge the back seats are. I don't know how it got different. I think the truck is the same length as my old truck. Maybe it's not. The bed is 5'5". I think you have two choices of beds, a 5'5" and a 6'5" bed with the crew cab, the Super Crew. I have the 5'5". I don't really need my bed that much. I tow trailers, so I put stuff in the trailer, but occasionally I'll throw, some tile or bags of Saccrete or whatever in the bed. But it's really big back here, and I don't really know where that came from. But a couple of cool things. Let me grab the camera, and I'll just show you around as we walk through this. All right, first thing you'll notice, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this real well or not. Let me see if I can hold it out there. But look in front of my knees. I mean, I have 1'3" in front of my knees, and that's my normal driving position in the driver's seat. So I really don't know how and why that got so much bigger, but my old car feels like it was about here. So it's half again as big in that direction. So that's really cool. It still has the flip down cup holders that I used to have. I stuffed a couple cables in there because my kids always ask for cables. But it still has the cup holders. But one thing it picked up, which is great, is a 12 volt, a 12 volt port, so I can plug in some chargers. But in addition to that, it also has a couple of USB connectors right here. There's 2 of them. And I think they're charge only. I don't think they're active or they do anything. But that's really nice to have, that extra couple of locations. The trim inside is okay. I mean, it's an XLT variant. This is not necessarily going to be the greatest level of finish and detail in this truck, but it's fine. And I got cloth interior because I'm just too hard on an interior. I didn't think that a leather interior would work well for me. So rather than get one of these big consoles with the shifter and everything, I went ahead and got the seat that lifts up. And I can explain that in a little bit, but basically I have 6 people in my family, and there are times when I like to put 6 people in this car. So let's take a look at the front. I mean, first thing you're going to notice is the steering wheel cluster is pretty basic. You've got your tachometer and your speedometer and your gauges up front. Yeah, there's an information panel in front of the steering wheel, and you can cycle through different layouts and access different menus there. I won't bore you with the details on that. The radio section is really not that special in this car, although I will say the sound of this radio is pretty awesome. And I'm not one to sit here and tell you how great the radio is in this new car, because I know that's not an important feature to a lot of people. But if you spend all day and every day in a car, it does count. It has great sound. You can set up the sound in this car to be engineered to, you know, support just a one driver situation, or you could say, hey, there's more people in here, make the sound more distributed, and it will do that. And it does sound significantly different. Now down below, you've got a couple of controls here. These are your skips and tracks and chapters, and that's your navigation, you know, call it your mouse for your information panel up here. And then down below that, you've got, you know, your air conditioning controls, and there's a couple blank buttons there that would be for heated seats and things that I don't have. All in all, I think this front looks kind of cool and chunky and healthy, and it's revised. It's really a lot nicer than it used to be. I don't know, what do you guys think? Okay, so this is your center console flip down seat, which I like a lot. It has a couple of cup holders, and one thing that I do like, and I access all the time, is I keep a lot of crap in that center console, like my tape measures, my laser measure, some different stuff. You know, you name it, I have it in there. You know, an occasional lure too, guys. You know me. But let's lift the seat up. So when the seat is up, you have a seat belt for the center seat, you have a headrest, and you will also notice down below, you've got another cup holder down low, which is kind of cool. Now this little door here, that's broken. Now, being that I have only 23,000 miles on the car, the nice thing is I still have about 10,000 miles of warranty and service remaining on this car. But I wanted to show you real quick the back seats and how these flip up. This is the 60 portion of the 60/40 split. And if you'll notice, this thing just comes up and locks into place. And if you look over here, you'll see that I've got my portable fishing rods. Oh yeah, don't leave home without them. And I've got a couple, you know, small toolboxes and tools and things underneath that fit nicely. And then all I got to do is lift it, put it back down, and you're back in action. And again, like I say, this back cavernous area is just huge. I can't believe how big it is. I'm actually thoroughly impressed with the size. All right, so let's look at one more little hidden compartment, which I think is cool. And it's another thing I think I'm going to have them work on for service. This seat actually lifts up. So let me show you what this looks like. Ugh. So that is where I store my fishing gear. So now you guys know all the secrets. You know where my fishing gear lays. But I have my GoPros in the bags. I've got some fishing gear in that little green bag. And I've got this here, and I can just close that up. And when I go to work, I can fold the seat down. And I've got my little work console with my little cubby. And all in all, pretty nice. Nothing super fancy, nothing to write home about. Basic trim and equipment, but I think in general, very nice. So let's do a quick outside tour. I'll tell you about the package I got. Okay, the nice thing about buying used vehicles is that you can get a little bit better trim package than you would maybe get at the dealer brand new for the same price. So I got this truck for $28,000, and it sells new for around 39 to 43, depending on equipment. And yeah, I got a pretty good deal. I think suggested retail was $33,000. There's, I don't think, but just one blemish on the outside, and it's pretty new looking. So you can kind of see it has a nice stance, nothing special. I'm gonna get some step rails on the side so I can get in and out of the vehicle a little bit easier. Decent looking wheels, not loving the tires, but they're stock. That's what came with it, so I'm gonna just keep them on there. So let's talk about engines and packages with this. I definitely wanted four-wheel drive. I knew that right off the bat. My wife was like, you don't need it, you don't need it. And she was absolutely right, but it's just one of those things where, you know what, I want it. And if I'm gonna pay 25, let's pay 28, and let's just get it. So I have it. Engines, I really toiled with this one. You guys can tell me what you think. You have three choices on the Ford F150 from like 2015 on. You've got an EcoBoost 2.7 liter, you've got an EcoBoost 3.5 liter, and the 5-liter V8. And I said those out of order, actually. It goes EcoBoost 2.7, 5 liters, the mid-grade engine, supposedly, and then the 3.5 EcoBoost is the top-grade engine, at least it costs the most. I decided to go with the 5-liter. Although I did drive the EcoBoost 3.5 and I drove the 5-liter, there was a significant difference in the amount of torque and just overall, you know, get up and go with the 3.5. The 3.5, both of the 2.7 and the 3.5s are equipped with a twin turbo, and so they get a lot of horsepower, but it comes a little bit late in the RPM range. But the 3.5 has a ton of torque, so it just feels like the wheels are just going to spin out from underneath you. Really, really fast truck. I mean, faster than a truck should be, in my opinion, but it's really nice. I started, after I drove the 3.5, I started looking for only 3.5s. But then I started to think, like, look, I know me, and I drive trucks. I drive my truck till the wheels fall off of it. So I knew that I would be the guy to keep it for 250, 300,000 miles. And I'm like, I just think for me and for maintenance, ease of use and work, I think the 5.0 is the best call. The 5.0 is the same engine. It's the Coyote engine that comes in the Mustang. It's a little detuned. It's not quite as rowdy, but it's still very strong. It's almost 400 horsepower and 400 torque even across the board. One thing I'll say about the towing, the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 does have higher towing capacity because it has more torque and more pulling ability, but you have to keep your foot in it more and keep the RPMs up higher and keep that thing, you know, spinning those turbos in order to get that power. Whereas a 5 liter is going to kind of chug and pull all the way from 1500 to 2500 RPM and not do a whole lot more, you know, at higher RPMs or lower RPMs. It's kind of smooth across the band. So I think the 5 liter with towing the trailer around, just driving this thing around town at slow speeds, occasionally doing some highway driving, I think it's the best fit for me. I did want the 3.5 twin turbo. I wanted that more, but I just knew better over time. I think I'll do better with the 5 liter. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because I was torn. So anyway, I love the 5 liter, and I'm not doing it because I'm like, all trucks should be V8. You know, I'm just saying that I really thought it through, and I said, I think the 5.0 is going to be my best call. But anyway, that's the Ford F150 2018. That's my new home away from home for the next 10 years at least. Just wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope if you're in the market for a truck, this helped you get an idea of what this truck is like. If you haven't seen the new Fords, if you're still in like an 04, 05 or pre, I don't know when they changed, pre-15, you might want to go drive one and check it out. They're a lot cooler and nicer than they used to be. They're actually very luxurious vehicles, and they're pretty cool. But thanks for watching, and enjoy these couple of catches. Hope you guys had a great week and have a great week ahead. And I hope the temps drop a little bit and get a little bit better. And I want to get out on the Occoquan, maybe, the reservoir. That's where SB Fishing fishes a lot. He does those tournaments. I'm close to that. So I might get out there with Pat with my little gas motor on my Sun Dolphin and see what we can do. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Nice £1.5 popper fish. There we go.
There's the old popper.
There's a combo. Nice.
See ya. Thank you.
Good teeth.
He did hit hard. He was excited.
That was nice.
Okay, maybe they're like right by that tree. You know, they want to sit right by that tree and that fringe there.
I wouldn't blame them, right?
Yeah. I think that's what I would do if I was fishing. Oh, and he's there!
Chris on number 2. He's a smaller one? Yeah, a littler one. Hey, but take it. Let me get him again for you. Got that one? Yeah, I got the rod if you want.
Okay.
Yep, in my hand. Tell me what to do. Just be careful of his jiggle. He'll shake that hook into your finger.
Good work. Man, he's just looking right to the side.
Nice. Chris. All right, I'm going popper.
It seems to be, it's like you watch that Discovery Channel with those great whites. I said, I want to do that.
Oh, look at that. I got a fish.
What? Oh.
Yeah!
Oh, he was going near it.
Yeah, he hit it. That's it, man. I'm on the books.
You are on the hook.
I'm on the books. He's probably going to get me hooked, this little guy.
Oh my God.
He's spazzy.
Oh boy.
Now he's bait. Come on, man. I could help you out if you just shut up. You see that, Chris?
You got it.
I'm in the club.
You are. You're a wiener.
It just went. Look at that. He didn't even hit it.
Oh God, you got one right now?
Yeah, a good one.
Better.
That's a good one, dude. Oh, yeah, he knows he's caught. That's a pretty good one. Where'd he come from?
I don't know. He certainly, you landed right on his head, right?
He just like looked up and went, I'll have that. There you go. Look at that hunchback.
Yeah.
Look when you go like that. Hey, good fish.
Good. Nice.
All right, today's automatically. Oh yeah, did you see that? He's like revving his engine, baby. Oh, okay. This one right here. This one will surprise you. You can tell on just about everything I own, man. I know quality when I see it.
I'm not scared. Nice.
Knew that was a matter of time.
There we go.
The way that thing was walking, holy moly. Still, steady, don't do it. God, they're so predictable. It's like, if you grab it with your finger, he's gonna freak out. There you go, Chris.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'd like to learn how to skip them underneath stuff like that.
That's a talent in itself that I have yet to be masterful with.